Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us again with this new Wednesday. And I would like to tell you that we have two new speakers and two new topics that we have today for this Zipinar that we would like to offer to you. So the aim of the webinar is to give back to the community and to create an empowered community as well through free knowledge sharing. So this initiative is made possible by Cogent Integrated Business Solutions, and it is an IT company that offers services in the information technology area and also supports startups as well. So for that, our first topic today is doors, evolution to revolution. So you might be wondering, me as well, definitely, but it is a very exciting topic for me. So this covers evolution of doors, revolution of doors, and now doors are the basis of any construction. So this will be delivered to us by Jitendra Goyal, which is a managing director at Doormark Ontario Private Limited. And he is a commerce graduate and done his MBA from Pune in marketing. And he has an experience of 6 years in building material retailing. And in 2008, he founded Doormark Ontario Private Limited, and he is a successful businessman with vision. And he brought a revolution in the door industry with unique design and variety, and changed the traditional approach of the people regarding doors. Now, without further ado, I'd really like to hear this topic myself. So let's give it to Jitendra Goyal.
Thank you, Fuzan. Thank you, Fuzan, for giving me this opportunity. It's a pleasure working on this platform. And I really like the purpose that giving back to the community. So I would like to start sharing my screen. Can you see the screen?
Yes.
Okay. So today's topic is doors. Yeah. So hi everyone. So today's topic is doors, evolution to revolution. So myself is Jitendra Goyal, and I'm managing director of company Doormark Interior Private Limited. And I started this business 15 years back. Today I'm going to share you how door is very important to you. And before going ahead, I just want to look at some door nearby you. Like wherever you are sitting, there must be some door in the room somewhere else. So just see that door. You have never seen it before. And I promise after this Zipinar, the perspective of looking at the door will change. The way you see the door will change. So let's begin. So I'm a commerce graduate, and since last 15 years, I'm in this business. So before that, I was doing the building material retailing. So while doing the building material retailing, I came across many architects, many contractors, many interior designers. So at that time, the market was getting organized. The kitchen industries was getting organized. The bathroom segment, the sanitary segment was getting organized. But one day I was sitting with my friend, and he recently made his house. I asked him, what are the major issues he faces while making the house? He said, like these days, making a house is very easy. But when it comes to door, then we really face lots of issues. Like I need to go to 6 to 7 vendors to get the work done. And that time the internet was not so powerful. The Pinterest was not there. So designs were not there. And he need to go to buy the wood, then select the carpenter, contractors, this painter, and buying the regular door from the market, then the finishes, laminate, veneer. There's so many things he bought. So it became very taxing for him. And after all, when he made the door at his house, there was no guarantee for the door. So then this thing clicked to my mind. Why not to look more in this industry? There's a lots of scope, and this industry is a very nascent stage at that time. So this is how we started. So it's the Forbes India magazine has written about this, the Jitendra Goyal, the man whose brand Doormark made doors fashionable and exclusive. So this is what written in year 2020, the COVID time. So I'm talking about the evolution which has come into the door market. And before that, I'll tell you about the Doormac. So I started Doormac in year 2008, and in last 15 years, we have sold around 2 million doors, and we have successfully installed it in at various airports, institute, schools, hospital, hotels, and premium residences. So we have done that business, and I started this company in 2008. At that time, it was a great recession time worldwide, but we started the business at the time when everybody was firing the employee, but we hired and we started this business successfully. So when we see the door, what is the things come to our mind is always the image of a wood, because if we'll see about the door, then the image which comes on our mind is the castles, the kingdom, the ancient door, where the door was very big, the fort doors. So earlier, the door was a luxury. Only the kings and ruler were using the doors. So door were very heavy. And lots of carpentry work was involved. Lots of metal were involved. Lots of wood were involved. And it was a very heavy door. But at the time passes, door has become very slick and slim, and the design has become very elegant. So this is how the door journey has started. And along with this journey, I'm showing you the how the door has been transformed since year 1982 till date. In 1980, there was a traditional approach. We were having a panel door, mostly made out of the wood, and it was a very labor-oriented door. And that time, even the door was a luxury. Everybody cannot afford a door, and the door which they were having was a very, you can say, very thinner kind of door and a very plain kind of door. But in 1990, worldwide, the industry has evolved. If you will see in the UK and US, the big companies has come. They have become a process-oriented company, and they started making the door out of HDF, out of flush door. So the new designs of flat doors and panel door has come, and it was a very minimalistic door, and it has revolutionized the whole door market. So for a year long till 2005, people started using those doors, and there's a very nice door, good door, and it was a very affordable, and it was made available for each and everyone. After that, as the market grow, it become more mature. Then the thing which come in the picture was a hardware. So hardware industry has grown itself. It's also revolutionized, and they have come out with various kind of hardware, like conceal hardware, slick hardware. Then people have become started becoming focused on the hardware, using a different kind of you can say door handles. And at the same time, we started using the veneer door. Earlier, we were having a cheaper door, but the veneer door trend has started after year 2005. At the same time, the building code has become more rigorous. Then the people started thinking about the life, and they started using the fire doors, acoustical door. And at the same time, people started looking for the deforestation. So the green door has also come into the picture. So this is how the door journey has progressed from 1980 to 2005. So this fire door, the acoustical door, this green journey was keep on going. And building sector was increasing all over the world. Earlier, the building which we used to make in 4 years, there was a requirement how to complete the building in 2 years, and door was a very critical part in that. People want to install the door to get complete their building, to install the inner sanitary ware, inner electrical wiring. So they want to install the door even at the time when it was not required. So it has become very difficult for us how to stabilize this. They want the door when it is not exactly required. Then the thing which comes in the picture is system doors. The door which can be fast installed and easily made, and can be made in a very fast process way. So we started a process called system door, where we are making the door in a very fast and highly processed unit and installing at a very rapid pace. And at the same time, we are guiding the builders how they can save the money and how they can complete their project in lesser time. So this is how the door industry has revolutionized in last 3 years, that the building which were earlier getting completed in 4 years, now getting completed in 2 years. And at the same time, being in the door industry, we are also working with the carpenter, working the painters and the POP industry, and at the same time window industry. And we all have come together and working together at the different places, and keeping making the building, making the delivery happens in lesser time. So this is how we are working in this industry. This is the other revolution which were not earlier there, but now people have become very aware about the fire rated door. The various kind of fire ratings are available. Say 30-minute fire rating, 60-minute fire rating, 120 fire rating. It depends upon where do you live, at which floor you live, and how much time it will take the fire brigade to escape you. So as per that, building code decide how many minutes fire rating you need. And the same thing is the acoustical doors. So it can reduce sound from 27 decibel to up to 42 decibel. What kind of noise level we have in our surroundings, so that can be reduced using these acoustical doors. So this is how the new things has come into the market. So now you can see, earlier the door were made out of wood only, but now there are various materials are there to make the wood. Now the doors has become a feature oriented, especially safety and efficiency. And earlier there was no standard in the door. When I started the unit, there was no standard in the door, but there are lots of standards are there. Now people start asking zero toxic door. There should be no toxication in our door. And the government has come out with the different emission norms, E0 and E1. There should not be any fumes from the door. There should not be any formaldehyde in the door. So this is how the industry has grown. Now you must be thinking, like, I'm a door expert, I'm selling the door, but the people who are listening here are not from my industry. Why I'm saying all these things, the people, those who are not directly related to it. But while selling the door, I started treating myself as a door. I see door in myself. And when I discover, then I find out what is the secret desire of a door. We are using a product. We are surrounded by doors. But do we really know what a door really wants? What is the secret desire of a door? So today I want to show you certain things which a door wants. Door always says, choose me right. We always treat door, as a commodity. But there are various siblings of the door. You can see aluminum door, UPVC door, WPC door, PVC door, wooden doors, steel doors, metal doors. Is that all are same? And a common man doesn't know which door to use at which place. So door says, get an education, meet a consultant, just define what the final outcome you want to achieve. After that, you choose me. Do you need me for the exterior purpose? Do you need me for the interior purpose? Do you need for school, college, kitchen? Where you need me? As per that, I have capacities. As the time goes, I have evolved. In the evolution, I have adapted certain technology. So you can use me wherever you want. But for that, you need to consult people. So don't be your own consultant, choose the consultant and get the right product. This is the first desire of the door. After that, door says, fit me right. If you choose a good door, it doesn't mean the performance will be optimized. I always say door has a friend. It's called hardware. And the hardware and a door goes hand in hand. It's not only the door industry which has revolutionized. At the same time, hardware industry has revolutionized. Door is a product, but the feel, the soft closing, and the experience, it comes when we join hand with hardware. So always we need to optimize the hardware, use the hardware as per our requirement. If we need fire rating, then there's a separate requirement. If we are looking for some acoustical rating, then there's a separate requirement. For the aesthetical value, there are various kind of hardwares. Then the locking, for the safety, various kind of hardware. And at the same time, fit me right means using the proper screws, proper hardware, and leaving the proper gaps all around the door. So it will perform well and it will be optimized. So this is the second desire of a door. Then the third desire door says, I'm not only for aesthetic. When it comes to the door, we always think about the design. Mostly people come at our showroom, they look for design. They never talk about the specification. They say our door should be very beautiful, very beautiful. It should look good. It should look good. But I always say it's not about aesthetic. What the final outcome you want to achieve. If it is a school, college, airport, door should be different. If you're looking for the hospital, then doors are different. For your drawing area, for dining area, for your kitchen, it should be different. Man door, it will be different. And now we have come out with one more door. Like as the data business is growing, data centers are coming out, then there's a requirement of a blast proof door also. If there is a fire, or you can say bomb attack, then this door will safeguard your data. So as per that, we need to choose the door. So I'm not only for aesthetic. This is what a door says. And this is my foremost desire. Like, I really feel bad. As a door, I really feel bad when people say, in making a door, you are cutting the tree. I'm making out of wood. This is not true. I love deforestation. We need to choose a right vendor, a right supplier. These days, doors are being made from the plantation wood. It's not necessarily we are buying the wood and we are cutting it from the forest. It's all plantation wood, which can be grown in 3 to 5 years, and these kind of woods are being used. Other than that, there are various materials. There are various kind of chipboard, particle board, MDF, which is available, and that is made out of the waste wood and the waste particles. And now there are a company called FSC, PEFC, which certifies that the forest wood has not been used in making of this wood, these doors. So these are the new development in the door industry. So it's always wrong to say that wooden doors are destroying the forest. So these are the desires of the door. So these are the things I wanted to share with you. Like the door which we are surrounded with is not an ordinary thing. And if you will see the website of our company, the doormat, so हम like we have a punchline in Hindi. हमारा एक tagline है. The tagline says हर लम्हे का साक्षी. हर लम्हे का साक्षी means what? The door is witnessing each and every moment and event of your house. The door is standing tall. It is always with you. It always safeguards you. Without saying anything, it performs well. Until the time when you get up in the morning, the first thing you do is open the door. If your room or your toilet, you use the door, and the last thing at night when you are going to the bedroom, you are closing the door, you are shutting the door. So door is the one which is standing all the time. So now the door has become the center point of all kind of construction activities. So these are the points today I wanted to cover in my presentation, like how door has changed, how it has evolved, how it has become a center point in our life. Thank you. Thanks a lot. I wanted to cover this.
Thank you so much for sharing those wonderful designs and the very idea of which door you'd like to have or to use or where you want to put it. So for those watching and planning to get their houses renovated or build a house, so here is a man in front of you. Definitely will give you the right consultation for each door. Now, after the presentation, we move to the question and answer. So if we have anyone who would like to interact or ask questions to our speaker, please do raise your hand or open your mic, or you can put it on chat as well. Yeah, we have Srini, the CEO of the company behind LetUsTalkIt, sending his regards and thanking you for the good session. Um, and yes, anyone we have here? Hi, sir. Door Life. You can open your mic, Mr. Khan, if you want.
Sir, I want to ask a question about your doors.
Yes, sir, please.
Uh, Life of your door, how much it can be durable, the durability of your doors.
So durability of the door, as the doors are engineered, so the durability we consider are between 30 to 50 years.
Okay, that's very nice. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Great. Thank you for that interaction, Mr. Khan. Any other questions from the attendees? Yes, we have him on. Yeah, please open your mic.
Yeah, so it was a very informative session. it's changed the perspective regarding the door. I just want to know that you mentioned a door in first desire. What is blast proof doors? What is the work? What is the outcome of?
Sorry, I didn't get what you asked about the desires.
What is the usage of blast proof door? Blast proof door.
Okay, blast proof door. As you say, that the lots of data centers are coming. Data has become the primary focus. So people want to safeguard the data. So wherever there are data center, they are putting the blast proof doors. So if any missile attack or any bomb attack happen on that building, so data can be safeguarded. So rather than the other than the fire, even those doors are very strong. They can sustain the missile attack also.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. It was a very informative session.
Thank you, Himan, for interacting. And we have Siva next.
Yeah, hi Jitendra. Thanks for your
Hi.
good presentation. So one common question I have, see, in general, our thought process is whenever we are constructing any house, we try to, at least the main door, we try to see that we get a teak wood. And again, teak wood is, it comes from the forest woods, right? So what is a good replacement for at least the main door where we usually prefer the teak wood, right? So what is the correct replacement that currently we can use? Honeycomb, all this, the question comes for the durability, right? So at least what's the alternate option for that?
Very good question, Sivas. Very good question. Yeah. So as we are using the teak wood is definitely come from the forest. We recommend the engineered door. So in the engineered door, it gives you the same feel and look as you want from the teak door, but it is made out of the various thing called LVL and various forestation wood. So the core of the door is the forest wood, and top of it will be the veneer, which will give you the look of a solid wood. And the advantage of that engineered door is it will never bend, its joint will never open, and it will be very stable. There will be no expansion and contraction in the door. As when we use the teak wood door, solid wooden doors, it has certain limitations. But when we use the engineered door with the LVL and different kind of material and giving the feel of a solid wood door, then this kind of issues never occurs. So I'll recommend go with the engineered door with the same design and finish which you get from the teak wood.
Okay, thank you. And how would the PVC or the CPVC, how would the durability of those doors?
Yeah, PVC and UPVC are good. It has a different purpose. UPVC is good when we talk about the balconies and all, when we want to use the door with the glass panel. So UPVC is not for main doors, but definitely in the balconies with the windows, we can use it. It's a good
Okay.
product over there.
Okay, got you. And
Thank
how
you.
would for the frames? Is the aluminum frames good enough?
UPVC frames.
Yeah.
UPVC frame is good for the UPVC door. Other than that, it cannot be used.
Okay. Okay. So aluminum frames you don't recommend for the.
Aluminum frame is a good option. Aluminum doors are good option. And even if I'll see what will be the next in the door industry, then I'll say like we will be using lots of aluminum in coming years. So we will be profile wrapping the aluminum, and we are using the aluminum and wood together and making such a doors, making a strong doors with the aluminum. So I'll say aluminum is the future. Aluminum can be used in the door. There are various sections and various companies who are using the aluminum, and it can give the wooden feel also.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Thank you so much, Jitendra.
Thank you. Great.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for that wonderful interaction. Any other person from the attendees? Okay, cannot see anyone. So yeah, before we move to the next topic, Jitendra, can you share where like your office and how they can contact you? Do you have online consultation?
Yeah. So we are located in India at Jaipur, and you can visit our website doormat.com. All the informations are there. On the website, you can get our all the information, and we are always there. You can visit us on our Instagram page, Facebook page also, Door Make Doors.
So,
So we'll be
so do
happy
you
to help
also
you.
retail these? How do we, if you want to buy this brand, right? So, do you also do a retail for this, or how do we
Yes,
get?
we do. We do.
Okay, okay. So, do you have other retail outlets in other cities?
We we are doing direct retailing from Jaipur only. Our people are there. We have certain associates. They can visit. They can visit. We don't have showrooms in most of the part of India. We have only 5 or 6 showrooms. But that can be done on a consultation basis, and we can send you the sample, and we can understand your requirement. And our associate can meet over there.
Okay, so they can travel to any city and they can tell
Yes,
you
we
specifications and
yeah many
you
places
do
we
the
have that
packaging.
arrangement. Yes,
Okay, that's great. Thank you.
thank you.
All right, wonderful. So thank you so much, Jitendra. So that's it for the first
Thank
topic
you,
that
everyone.
we have today. So really appreciate the insights and the interaction you gave to our attendees. And now moving to the next topic, and which is mapping the brain of a leader. So it's not really related to the first topic, but definitely it is still leadership because that company that Jitendra had founded, it wouldn't be this successful without the good leadership. And now we have the next topic, who's going to help us do the mapping of a brain of a leader. Leadership development is as vital as blood flow for good organizational success, yet one of the weakest skill amongst the current global workforce to learn. So learn how to cradle leadership. And this will be given to us by Jitangshu Singh, Director of Target Blues Training Solutions. And he is dynamic and a power packed motivational speaker, certified NLP trainer, LEAP, LEAP trainer, communication and personality development coach, leadership, incubation, and team development guide, presentation skills trainer, leadership coach, agriculturist, and writer, and so many things that he does and which he does best. So without further ado, I'll have Mr. Jitanshu Singh to deliver the topic for us.
Thanks, Phil. I hope that everybody is able to hear me clearly.
Yes, I can hear clearly.
Wonderful. Thank you for that generous introduction, Phil. And I suppose that it's a little, I'll say, a bit of an exaggeration to the capacities that I bear. But anyways, I'll try and live up to it as far as possible through this talk. So this is not for the first time that I'm actually interacting on this platform. I've already interacted twice before this, and both the times my topic was related to leadership itself. I guess that what Mr. Jitendra started in his first speech, talking about how he actually started a company in 2008, if I'm not wrong, and how he actually knitted a story, a success story in and around whatever he desired to do best with it. And today, I think perhaps after so many years, he's been able to build up a whole network of ideas that are reality today. So kudos to Mr. Goyal that he is definitely a leader. And to some extent, I suppose that this particular start has given a great platform to me to build up on what exactly my topic wants to present. Mapping the brain of a leader. Now, generally, when we talk about mapping somebody's brain, or when we are talking about seeing the lobes and the parts and the cerebrums and the cerebellums and the medullas of somebody's brain, when we are examining somebody's mind, what we're exactly doing is we're doing it in a medical confinement. We're trying to understand how a person's mind works and how he thinks, or perhaps for, let's say, investigating a disease or probably a condition. But while I was selecting this topic a few days back, Phil was having a conversation with me. Jitanshu, what do you want to have a topic? I was thinking, okay, give me some time. I'll come back to you with the topic. Suddenly, I was reading David A. Waldman. He is one of the most authoritarian academician in the field of leadership and and psychological leadership. And he's been working with the Arizona State University for the past a decade now. And what he's been doing over there is he's been trying to map the brains of leaders in various capacities. So that was some sort of an inspiration for me. And I thought that why not introduce this as a topic when I'm already reading that, I'm already researching about that, I'm already interested in it. So I thought that this would be a great topic. So as Phil has introduced me, I am a motivational speaker. I speak at various platforms, nationally, internationally, in various capacities, as a keynote speaker, as a communication skills trainer, as a performance enhancement trainer. I speak in the capacities of developing leadership, enhancing performances in terms of team building, and interacting with people from different levels and industries, academics, corporate, government sector. I've seen mostly all, right? In the last 12 to 14 years of my career, and since I've built up my company, Target Blues Training Solutions, having managed people right from lower level to the highest, to the CEOs, directors, the company owners, entrepreneurs, startup owners, one thing which I've observed is leaders have a lot of common things amongst them. Now, it does not matter whether you're a leader from the military forces. It does not matter whether you're a leader from, let's say, the administrative side, or you're from the bureaucracy, or you're a political leader, or let's say you're an artist, or let's say a sportsman. There are a lot of common points that we've been able to track. And as I was saying, that what Waldman was trying to investigate what goes on into the mind of a leader, what he did was he was working in the laboratory. He brought in a lot of leaders, and what they used to do is they used to attach 19 electrode rods on the scalp of the person, make them lay down on a stretcher, and then they used to ask them general questions, mostly related to leadership. And then they used to map the brain, which part of the brain is functioning, which is the most activated, which is showing the most heat zones, which is showing the most activity prone areas, right? And gradually, when he mapped the entire the results on a graph, his findings were pretty interesting. He says almost 95% people he examined showed that when they were asked to respond to questions related to leadership, the frontal right node of the brain was the most active. Now, when we read biology, or when we read the entire structure of the brain, the right frontal node is responsible for 3 of the most important feelings that a human being can enjoy. And those are, as I read it from my notes, interpersonal communication, social relationship building, and amongst the most virtuous of all traits that a man can have is compassion. Now, this was just one finding. So I thought, why not build up more on this? Why not research more on this? Why not find more on it? So I went ahead and I did more research, and I could find another gentleman, and he is titled Mr. Hugard, who was working with the Harvard Business Review for a few years. And in their 2 years study, what they found was that they investigated leadership and they interviewed 35,000 leaders. Now, that's a huge number. Now, that was spanning over various industries. It was demographically very diverse. It was genderly very diverse. And it was socially very diverse. Financially, the class changes were being observed. They investigated the leadership capacities amongst 35,000 leaders, and amongst them were 250 high-end executives. Now, their salary ranges were above 2 lakh, like in Indian rupees, it was 2 lakh rupees a month. Or let's say, for example, they were minting money, basically. Their research was concentrated mostly in industries that are high octane, like the IT industry, automobile, ITES industries. They were high octane industries, Google, Microsoft, Accenture, IBM. They were investigating people in Ford. They were investigating people in Tata. They did a comprehensive report. And what Hugard found was that whoever they taught, they actually showed three important qualities: mindfulness, selflessness, and compassion. Now, after having studied two researchers from topmost researchers in the field of leadership, I can safely conclude the brain of a leader functions generally in one direction. And that direction is to be able to get the job done, to be able to deliver the goods, to be able to very, very mindfully generate the desired outcome, but at the same time, ensuring that those people who are being engaged in the purpose of delivering those goods are not left behind. Now, let's put aside the entire biological aspect, the entire physiological aspect of the mind and leadership and everything. And let's come to plain straight talk, the talk that you and me understand. So what should be going on in the mind of a leader? So if I take an X and a Y and a Z axis graph, and I take it three-dimensionally, and I say, okay, one is time, one is action, and the third is the result, how would I plant the dots on this graph? And to my amazement, when I actually start talking to a lot of leaders, say, let's say, if I even match my research with Mr. Goyal, who just spoke before me, or let's say if I bring in Srini over here, or let's say if I bring in Mr. Ratan Tata, or if I bring in Jeff Bezos, or if I bring in Mark Zuckerberg, or I bring in any of the leaders of the industry, what I'll be able to find is, though the degree of the map plotting would be a little different based out on the experiences and the industries where they are leading, but at the end of the day, the zones on that graph would be absolutely similar. Now, why do I say this? How can I make such a tall claim that it's going to be similar when science, on the other hand, has taught us that every mind is different, every personality is different, every fingerprint is different, every DNA is different. When there is so much diversity in the very fabric of our existence, then how can we say, or can I claim that if I am investigating human personality on one trait, and that is leadership, it would turn out that all leaders would be mapped on the same zones in terms of personality on an X, Y, and Z graph, a three-dimensional graph, time, activity, and result graph. I'm able to make this claim because a leader is someone who just does not get created out of the random blue. There is a big conflict amongst industrial leaders who say leaders cannot be produced, they are natural. I beg to differ. If you understand the concept of leadership and you start building on the traits of a particular person right from the childhood, give the child the tremendous number of opportunities that he needs, you will be able to plant these dots from the graph into the mind of this particular child. You're creating leaders. You're creating the habit of leading. And the more habitual a particular person is, the more confident and comfortable that person is as he's growing up in various environments. Now look at yourself. When you first started riding a bicycle, how confident were you of it? I remember my knees were shivering. I could barely walk after the fall. The first thought that came in my mind was, I'll never be able to do it. But gradually, as I developed it as a habit, I started cycling more and more. Today, I am so confident I can go about 20 miles and I would not bother that I'll fall. That confidence has come up because I was found accurately placed in situations which gave me the confidence of building the traits of as a good cyclist. Now, one way is that we start putting in those qualities into a young child and we start bringing in out those leadership qualities. Great. That can be one way to map. That can be one way to develop the brain of a leader. But what if we're not able to give those opportunities to young children to be leaders? So that does that mean that as they're growing as teenagers or as they're coming forward into the industry, would they not be able to deliver? Will they not be able to derive maximum out of the potential? And Hugard says this very strongly, that before you map the mind of a leader, you need to mind your own mind. You need to map your own mind. And once you personally develop those traits of finding out leaders amongst the crowd, you'll be able to build more leaders. And primarily, as Phil was reading in my introduction, and he says in the topic's introduction that leadership is one of the most important traits that would be required in the near future, but one of the most ill-procured, straightforward trait amongst the current workforce. It's a straightforward trait. Leader leads. Unfortunately, it's missing. So probably if we find out now that amongst our young children, we are not inculcating those leadership habits, so have we missed opportunity? No. Now we need to find out all those qualities are they bringing in themselves as they bring up. I need to have a mindful leader amongst our selection panels who are watchful enough to find them out and build them. If the opportunity is missed here as well, no harm's done. Another way, give them the opportunity to surface out as leaders. Give them fighting conditions. Give them resource deficits. Give them financial crunches. Give them shoelace budgets. Find out what they can do best with it. How creatively they can go ahead with it. How calm is their mind, and are they compassionate towards the people who are going to work with them and deliver the results. Now I remember one of my friends, he called me up a few years back and he said, I want to find out a few leaders amongst my middle level management, and I want to give them an opportunity to come out because I want to open up a new branch office in another city, and I want to make this person as the branch head and move him over there. He selected 5 or 6 of them, gave me the responsibility to find out who can lead the team. I gave them a simple exercise. All I asked them was, the office is planning a small get-together party. You 5 are responsible for executing this plan. I extended them a budget of 1,50,000 rupees, and I asked them to arrange that particular event for 250 people. It should be a grand affair, but at the same time, it should be well planned off. They went out, they did it, and in the meanwhile, I was mapping all their activity, how they are doing it, whose help they are taking, how much time they are taking to go to other people. Are they considering the requirements of the other people? Are they being autocratic or are they being democratic? Are they acting sensibly or lunatically? Are they saving the budget or they're thinking that it is free fund? Let's spend every penny out there. Are they planning things according to their own whims and fancies, or are they planning it according to their own the requirements of the event? And once this entire event had been planned, I had my clear objective defined. There was just one person out there whom I had to select. All four, I would not like to call them this word, but were acting idiotically. Two of them had already decided that the menu is going to be according to their own requirements. What they like eating, that's going to be served. One of them was responsible for serving alcoholic beverages, and just because he was a non-alcoholic, he planned till the last moment to dodge the plan and not serve it. The fourth one was the classic amongst all. He was more busy saving money for his personal use rather than investing into the plan. And he actually had the audacity to go and talk to other people about this and say that let's get together, save some money and keep it for ourselves. The event can be managed in a very cozy way as well. And it was the fifth guy who actually had the sensibility to come, discuss the challenges, have a talk with the various people inside the company regarding his department. His department was simple. His department was the pre-event games and the bonfire arrangement. He talked to everybody. He had a good plan on the charts. He came to the company. He said, okay, this is what we need. This is where we can save. This is how we can save. My first and last choice, for the simple reason, he was understanding the requirement of the work, but at the same time, he was also doing one very important thing, talking to people. There were females in the team, females who could not stay over after 6:30, 7 o'clock winter time. He came up to us and said, sir, there would be some people who would like to go back after the event a little early. They would like to leave at about 7:30. We must have some arrangement for them so that they can be transported back to their homes. Basic compassion, mindfulness. Sir, there might be some people who might be allergic to wood fire, maybe asthmatic, maybe having breathing problems. They would not be able to enjoy. So let's do one thing, sir. What we'll do is we will create the event. We will start the event and we will make sure that these people also have certain other events to do inside indoors so that they don't feel left out. Basic mindfulness. When I was mapping the personality of this gentleman, I could see a future leader wanting an opportunity, delivered when given. And once he delivered, he made sure that he's not leaving it just hung out to dry. He's executing it to the end of the road. I made all four of them quit that job, gave the entire budget to this gentleman. In 3 days, mark my words, in 3 days, he organized one of the fanciest get-together parties that company had ever seen. Currently heading all marketing operations of that company and is actually one of the finest finds for me in my entire career of headhunting for my friends. So when I go back to Hugard and I try to see the 3 dimensions of this person's personality, and I say time, he did not waste a single second. He was on the job right from the word go. Was he maturing as he was going ahead? Absolutely. He was writing everything down. He was sketching the map of the entire event. He was at the task right from the word go, stayed with the task till the end of this particular event. Activity. Was any of his activity down with time and then going up and then coming down and then going up? Was he showing me the trough and valley system, or was he showing me a consistent upgrading line? Yes, I could see a consistency in his work. And the third were results. Was he delivering results? I do not want a leader to invest time and compassion and be unable to deliver results. Results matter. The resources are at stake. Finances are at stake. Budgets are planned. But it also needs to be accepted that every result is not meant to be achieved. Some stars are there in the sky only to be gazed at. You cannot just hold your hand up and grab them. But that doesn't mean I cannot reach the moon. I must invest my energies to a certain level that even if it is unachievable, I should make the team reach to a point from where we can expect results in the next attempt. This guy delivered me that. I do not say that his event planning was absolutely spot on, but he was on the particular task on the majors. So the minors were taken care of already. When we are planning that we need to enhance the capacities of our leaders in corporations and institutions and social services, and we are trying to build up a network of people who take pride in raising their hands to deliver the goods, we need to make sure that are we identifying them correctly. Mapping the mind of a leader. Selflessness. Compassion was one. Selflessness. To those two idiots who were more interested in planning the menu according to their own requirement, I say, thank you. You did not stay long. Tomorrow, if there is a case where probably you would be required to select a few people to stay back after office hours to complete a task, you'll be the first one putting your hand in your bag, laptop inside the bag, putting it up and out of the office at 6:30. Destroys the motivation of the remaining. Destroys it completely. And do not be amazed. Mind that, my audience. Do not be amazed when I say the so-called leaders that are out there who claim to be leaders in any capacity or profession that they say, do not bear selflessness. At the first incident, they will show selfishness and they would leave their team completely demotivated, wanting for guidance, but you're not there. Because you say, I have spent 10 years building up this position. I don't need to be with them. They need to find their way on their own. You're not just murdering their motivation for today. You're murdering their confidence, their trust, and the most important thing that relationships are built on, faith. You've murdered that. And then you say, people are not performing. Then you have the audacity to say that people do not invest their 100%. Selflessness. Without this, any innumerable attempts that you make to build good teams is going to be a failure. And the last thing that I believe should be going from here to here in every leader's mind is prediction of the future. Now, this brings me to a personal example. So before I was working on my particular project of Target Blues, I had the good fortune of being selected in the Indian Army. And for that, we were supposed to go ahead with an SSB, that is the Selection Services Board. We're supposed to go for that. It's a rigorous 5-day mental marathon. You are literally put hanging on a rope, and then you're beaten out properly so that the best can be extracted out of you. And there is a task in that particular selection process which requires you to fulfill a team related activity, and you're supposed to cross certain obstacles using certain objects that are given to you without having landed your feet on the ground. So you have to use those objects, you have to use those particular things that are available to you with certain rules and regulations. I will not be declaring because this is a less sensitive matter. So in one of the tasks, we were required to cross from one side of the activity to the other. And I fondly remember this, that we were 10 of us and we were supposed to move from one side of the other, and we were given a long plank. That was all we were given. And 6 or 7 of us were able to cross onto the other side. We were, I think 3 or 4 of us were left on this side. And suddenly my testing officer finds me and one of my friends. We were looking at certain other objects, certain other available resources which we could have used to move out of this particular challenge. He immediately scolded us. Okay, yes, chest number this, what are you doing? The entire group is looking in this direction. You are looking in an opposite direction. What are you doing? And this and that. And yeah, I got scared. Like that, I thought that that's probably a mistake. And very humbly in my attempt to convince him, I said, sir, I'm just trying to understand that when 9 would go on to the other side, how would you bring the 10th one over there and then still bring in the entire, this whole 6-7 feet plank on the other side without it making touch the ground? He stopped that activity there. Simply stopped. And then he said, all of you back to the baseline quickly. We ran over there. And then he investigated me. What was going through your mind? I said, I don't know. I probably thought that we would not be able to cross on the other side. And that's why probably I was finding another channel. He was pretty impressed by that. And to my good fortune, out of those 10 guys, the single person who was selected for the next stage of medicals is the gentleman who's speaking to you right now. I fondly remember this because that is what struck me from here to here, predicting the future. Fine, 9 guys on the other side. What will I do if I stay back here? How will I go on to the other side? So does military operation mean that I have to lose a man whenever I have to cross an obstacle? Is that how military operations work? This was what was going on through my mind. And the biggest lesson that I learned from that was, it's not just military operations that I need to learn this lesson from. I need to learn in my life. They do not gather the courage to mark the obstacles that are going to become challenges in the future and a threat in the probable post-future. They don't gather the courage. You map the mind of a good leader. He'll be blunt. He'll be absolutely precise in mentioning what's going good, what's not, without the fear of being able to collect positive responses. He's free of this. So now when I map the personality of a leader on a time, activity, and result graph, this particular quality is stationed right on the top. And that is from where, if I map it onto a 3-dimensional graph, I see that this is a pristine quality that saves organizations from destruction. So all those leaders out there, if you're listening to me, start mapping the personalities of the potential leaders based out on what we've learned today: mindfulness, selflessness, and compassion. Try and find out these traits. But before you go out to investigate these traits, find them in your own personality first. Map it, and then try and bring people closer to it. You'll have a good team around you. Nurture this team, give them the opportunities to progress, and I'm pretty sure the results are going to be fantastic for all of you. Thank you so much for this particular time of yours, and I really enjoyed delivering this talk. Any questions or queries, I'm free to answer them. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Sanju, definitely for that wonderful session. And also, Srini, who's watching on YouTube, said it's a wonderful session as well. So thank you. And yeah, anyone who would like to interact and ask questions with regards to the topic, anyone from the attendees, you can raise your hand or open your mic or put it in chat. So while we are waiting for them to generate their questions or be able to share it, so for anyone who would like to have a training or coaching or anything with regards to professional life skills, how they can they reach you? How can they contact you? Are there virtual trainings?
Yeah. So what we're doing is we're doing it on both the online and the offline platforms. Majorly, we prefer both. And if we are doing it in a group system as well, and we're doing it as an individual training programs as well. So we are doing it across the globe. We just concluded an international training with one of the largest producers of milk in the world. And we were also doing a project for a New Zealand-based sheep wool manufacturing company. We were doing it with IT organizations. We've been doing a lot of work. So you can contact us using our website, targetblues.in, and all the contact details are available over there. You can drop me an email at www.info@targetblues.in, or I can be reached at targetblues09@gmail.com. And you would receive a feedback or you would receive a query answer in 24 hours. That's what the company policy believes in. And if in case you require us to contact through WhatsApp, the number is 9015301230. I repeat, 9015301230. That's the WhatsApp contact number. And you would receive a query answer within 12 hours on WhatsApp. Otherwise, this number can also be used to reach out to our customer care services as well. Along with this, if you want to visit us, we are stationed in Chandigarh in India. And if need be, we are also pan-India available. So on contract basis, we can be made available. Our representatives can reach out to you. Any questions or queries that are there in any chat or anything?
So none on the chat. Yes, I believe that's a very crisp and clear session you have given, especially with the example on the event, uh, like doing the event, designating people, choosing who will shine amongst the rest. So that was really a very great example. So thank you so much for that. And yes, no one has sent their questions. So I guess, yeah, you were about to say.
I guess I've given the talk in two categories. Either it has been superb, everybody got everything, or the other way around, nobody got a single word out of it. I don't know which one is that.
Well, for sure, for me, yeah, you have delivered the gist and definitely the main detail you wanted to give about mapping the brain of a leader. So thank you so much for that one. And yes, we have one who raised a hand. We have Himant.
Yeah, hi, it is Jitansu. So it
Yeah,
was
hi.
very nice session, and I just want to understand one thing, that how much it is important for a leader to have a skillful team members, or have a like same level of understanding and all that thing. Did
That's
you get me?
one of the exciting questions that you've asked, Hemant. Hemant, I'll ask you a reverse question then. Okay, I'll
Yes,
just
yes,
ask you a
please.
reverse. Um, just give me a situation where you've gone out with some of your friends. Are you a vegetarian or a non-vegetarian?
I'm a vegetarian.
Great. Have you gone out with your friends who are non-vegetarian?
Yes.
What is the biggest conflict on the dining table?
So the persons who are non-vegetarians, they like uh, They don't
They
want
try
like
to
non-veg
try to
yeah,
the
yeah,
vegetarians
like
try
that.
to order vegetarian food, right?
Yes, yes.
Has it ever happened that you've experienced this, that the vegetarians were mindful of saying, okay, it's okay, guys, you can order whatever you want to order. We'll only order just one dish and you can order and you can all enjoy. Or the non-vegetarians have been so kind enough, ki, guys, okay, you don't eat, we will also not eat. Let's keep it completely vegetarian. Has this experience happened with you?
Yes, like if I'm talking about myself, so I don't have any problem if someone with me having non-vegetarian as I'm vegetarian. So I'm open with
Mhm.
that. And yeah, there is some people who have mindset that if I'm vegetarian, so there should not be any non-vegetarian on that table.
True that. How would you
Mhm.
feel that if you are a vegetarian and suddenly somebody non-vegetarian started, like, he's not very comfortable or he's not very happy with you on that table, or let's say vice versa, a vegetarian person is not happy with the person who's non-vegetarian on the table? What kind of an environment do you see on the table?
So that is a very awkward environment on the table because everyone have their own choices. If someone like
Mhm.
non-vegetarian, so they can have non-vegetarian. So that is a very awkward situation on the table.
Great. And if everybody starts respecting diversity, everybody starts accepting it, be more careful and be more comfortable with one another, then how is the environment on the dining table?
That will be very nice and friendly and like happily environment.
So I guess that answers your question with your own example. The whole
Yeah.
point of the matter is being mindful,
Mm-hmm.
being compassionate, and being happy while working with other people is the basic requirement of a good team. A leader needs these people, Hemant. Can you form a
Hmm.
team where there is a lot of conflict of ideas, there is a lot of conflict of interest, there is no respect for diversity, there is no respect for creativity, and can you deliver the
Hmm.
results? So
No,
would
it
a
will be
leader
not possible.
actually be able to function with a team that is under conflict?
No, no, that will be not like it will not possible to get the
So in
desired results.
isn't it the responsibility of a leader to find those people who are result
Hmm.
oriented, culturally diverse, yet respecting of each other, have the capacity to
Hmm.
hear suggestions and not just impose themselves? So this is what is the most important requirement of a leader. Now the question arises, Hemant, who will find
Hmm.
these people?
Yeah, obviously. So that is the duty of the leader only. Yeah, that is
Yeah.
the duty of the
So
leader
let's
only.
come back to your question again. Would you repeat your question again? What did you say?
Yeah, so I asked you to just I want to understand for a leader how much it is important to have a skillful team members and the level of understanding like to get the desired result. So level of understanding of the leader with team member.
So did these examples answer the question to the extent that you wanted an
Yeah,
answer for?
absolutely, absolutely, absolutely.
That would be it. Thank you so much, Hemant.
Thank you so much.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Ahiman, for that interaction. Anyone else? Siva?
Yeah, hi, Pitanjali. It's a very nice
That's correct.
conversation, and the way you have put the overall the leadership things, it's really amazing. So I have one quick question. See, in terms
Mm-hmm.
of when we have while we are forming a team, we have norming, forming, performing. So while everything is time boxed, right? So when we say a project, it's all time boxed. So during that,
Mm-hmm.
when you are forming your own team, see, as
Mm-hmm.
you're saying, there's a conflict, right? At times there are conflicts. So in terms of that resolving the conflicts, it tend it might be taking time. So because I was saying the time box, right? So at times you have delivered a project in next 6 months, but by the time you are forming your team, it is taking time for you to now uh, handle this conflict resolution. How do you handle such situations? Because one thing, you're constantly being reminded that you have a limited time to address. The other side, you also need to bring the team to the desired state so that they start performing. but unfortunately time is not on your side. But how do you manage?
Mhm. Siva, I always give answers and examples, and I always try and build up answers and questions. Have you seen a professional kitchen working ever?
Yeah.
In like a restaurant or a hotel or a
Yeah.
culinary place, have you seen a professional
Yeah,
kitchen
I've
working?
seen a chef. Yeah, he has got a lot of
What's the environment like? What's the environment in that professional kitchen?
So the environment is he has got a lot of ingredients, and at the same time he gets a lot of orders. People are running around giving him the orders, and he tries to grab one after the other,
Mhm.
and then tries to see what is the best ingredients that he can mix and get the dish out.
Great, great. So tell me, Shiv, if this happens that suddenly somebody ordered, let's say in the context of India, let's say they ordered uttapam,
Mhm.
and the materials have the materials have are not there anymore, and suddenly what has happened is that on one particular station the ingredients have ended, and there is another station where the ingredients are there. What would be the most obvious thing that the head chef would do in that situation?
Yep, he'll try to pass the order where there are available ingredients so that he can make the uttapam.
Great. So what he'll do is he'll start taking the orders, and instead of directing them to say, let's say station number A and B, and if there is only materials available on B, he'll move it to the B only.
Yeah.
So in that particular moment, what do you think? A is going to be idle. What is going to go through the mind of the chef at station B?
Yeah, he'll be waiting for the next order based on
No,
the
no, no. Station B chef is now double busy because he's the one who's left with the ingredients of uttapam, and station A has probably dropped some of has spilled some of his ingredients. He's standing idle now. What is going to go through the mind of the chef at station B?
now he'll be overwhelmed, saying that no, I'm the one who's doing a lot of stuff, and rest of the
Mhm.
other guys have
Mhm.
station just and
He would be angry.
yeah, he'll be little
He
frustrated.
would be literally. He would be literally exhausted, and he would be angry because of that, because he's being forced to do double work.
Yeah.
And how would he feel if that particular A section chef is loitering around in the kitchen doing nothing and actually enjoying that waste of the time because he spilled the materials and now he's having a good time?
It'll aggravate further.
Yeah. So what would
Yep.
a good head chef do at that time?
Good head chef will try to see how we can bring the guy who was supposed to be on station A, help
Mhm.
the station B guy so that he gets some help, and at the same time station B is also guy is not frustrated.
Exactly. He'll counsel both of them.
Yeah.
He'll try and maneuver his resources. He'll take the person from A, put it to some task which can aid to the ease of work for B, and then both of them can kill their conflict. They can understand each other's situation. Let's reverse this. Say, for example, the B1 is absolutely exhausted, he's angry, and the chef at station A is actually ashamed of himself that he spilled the materials on the floor, and everybody is cursing him that because of him the task of everybody else has arisen. Now what is the responsibility of head chef?
Now he needs to address the entire team, saying that explaining the situation so that everyone starts empathizing the station A guy and start.
Be more compassionate, be more empathetic towards them,
Yeah.
understand his situation. What
Right.
would be the task that head chef would do during the peacetime when these circumstances are not arising? What kind of qualities would the head chef inculcate into his main team, that if in case ingredients spill over sometime, can it happen to anybody? Can it happen with any and everybody? Can it happen with everybody? It is a situation which can happen anywhere and everywhere, and it is something more humane. But that does also mean that the head chef is also responsible for inculcating ethos. He is also responsible for inculcating mannerisms, a vision and a mission into the entire team, so that in times of crisis, when the team is facing a conflict because XYZ reasons, somebody left out, somebody spilled the ingredients, somebody does not have the right training for delivering that task, he is not looked upon. He is accepted as a team member, but that does not mean that the person who's lacking behind takes it as an opportunity to relax, but rather works hard to compensate for that lacking and becomes better. Shiva, what happens is leaders expect things to work when crises happen. Projects 6 months into the delivery, crises are happening right now. What was the leader doing all the while when he was in peace mode? What was he doing? Why was he not looking at such? That's why I said the last part of my talk, future predictor. A leader needs to be this. There is no medicine for such a situation. Peacetime preparations, inculcating ethos, inculcating values, delivering the mission, the vision of the task is the basic requirement during peacetime. So that when you put the men on the border to deliver the goods, they need to know what they need to do. If in case one man twists his leg, if in case the rifle falls, if in case his ammunition gets dropped, if in case at certain point of time he's caught in the trench, the others should not feel it a burden to put him onto his shoulder and carry him to the end of the trench where he can be dropped off safely. And just because he's twisted his leg, that doesn't make him a bad soldier. That spirit of fighting should remain, right? So there is no excuse, Shiva, no excuse. Peacetime is the best time. Show your futuristic abilities, get your team together, understand all possibilities, get them working, motivate them, enjoy with them, make them feel as a team. We say family, make them feel like a family. We don't throw out our family members just because one of them gets hurt, right?
Yep. So at the peacetime, you recommend.
Yeah, I hope that answers the question.
No, what I'm
I
trying
hope
to
that answers
summarize
the
is, what I'm trying to summarize is at the peacetime. So you are suggesting that we do these kind of mock drills so that at the real
Absolutely.
crisis.
Absolutely.
Okay. Point well taken. Yeah. Thank you so
Right.
much.
I hope that answers the question. Thank you. Thank you. That's a pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. And that's a wonderful interaction there. And we really appreciate the attendees and who's also have watched the live session on YouTube as well. So I was watching, and some were trying to say hello, and it is a fantastic session. So yeah, all thanks to the speakers that we have today. So we have extended a little few minutes and from the regular session, but we appreciate your time and your energy staying for this webinar that we have today, and such very interesting topics that we were able to take knowledge from. So thank you so much, Jitendra, and thank you so much, Jitanshu, for sharing us your experiences and very much acknowledge brains that you have given us today. So I have to close the session, definitely. And I will bid you goodbye for now, but definitely we hope to see you again next Wednesday. And please stay tuned for 2 new topics that we have from our 2 new speakers as well that will deliver the same energy and the same knowledge and experience that we have experienced today. So thank you so much for joining the Let Us Talk It webinar for today. And you take care as always, and goodbye for now.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Goodbye.
Thank you all.